This is Popcorn Breakfast, and today we'll be talking about Scream 6, starring Jenna Ortega and Melissa Barrera. Hey guys, welcome back to Popcorn Breakfast. This week I am pretty excited because I got to go see Scream 6. Scream is a franchise that started in 1996. It's a slasher franchise and it's known for its meta commentary and its fun quips. So I've actually only seen the first three. I saw the second and third ones when they were actually in the movie theaters. That was back in 1997 and then 2000, respectively. I remember feeling after seeing the third one like they were kind of turning into the thing that they were initially making commentary on. So I had sort of lost interest in watching them. So I didn't see the fourth. And frankly, until I learned that there was a sixth one in the theaters, I didn't know that there was a fifth one, so I guess that's just from a couple of years ago. So I've never seen the fifth. I was unaware that it even existed until recently. But that being said, I am a huge fan of the first film, like super fan of the first film. I can't even count how many times I've seen it, and I can always confidently say that I've recently seen the movie, and I have recently seen the movie. I was going to try to marathon them all before I went to go see six. I rewatched the first one and I loved it. And then I actually became interested in watching All Quiet on the Western Front. So I didn't watch the Scream movies like I had intended. But that's okay. So I was still excited to see the sixth movie, and I was curious to see if it would be a good movie to see if, like me, you are missing a lot of the context from 2 through 5. And also I was excited to see it because the new Halloween movies that have been coming out have been fantastic. So these are nostalgic movies for me, and I think that some of the new things that are being done with them are a lot of fun. So yeah, I was excited, and I gotta say, I was not let down by this movie. It had a lot of laughs. The opener was super fun and absolutely not what I expected. And then right after the opener, there was another scene that was also expectation defying. So it was fantastic. This one was set in New York City. That allowed for a lot more tension. Unlike the others that I've seen, there are moments in the other movies where you're not really worried that anything's going to happen. So those are the moments for jokes or discussion or whatever for the characters in the movie, of course, not for the audience. But in this movie, there was just tension the whole time. There is nowhere for the characters to be that feels safe. It doesn't matter if it's day or night, or if they're alone, or if they're in a big crowd. The threat of Ghostface is ever present in this movie the whole time. It was a lot of fun. The tension, there were jump scares. I know that jump scares annoy people. I feel like in the context of this movie, they were fun. I just really had a blast. I had a blast watching it in the theater. I jumped quite a lot. I spent a lot of time doing this. It was fun to hear the audience reactions, and it was just sort of like non-stop. As a matter of fact, I really needed to use the restroom, and I had started to leave the theater, but then the music sort of changed, and I thought, oh, I think I'm about to miss something important. So standing in the little hallway of the theater, I watched, one of the kills. Actually, I almost missed one of the more fun, interesting sort of kill situations. So it's great. It's nonstop. It's a ton of fun. There's a lot of laughs. There's a lot of fan service bits. There's, of course, it's Scream. There's a lot of fun with tropes. It was just great. It was fun to see if you're a fan, and it was fun to watch with an audience. With regard to the meta commentary, of course, that's what this franchise is really known for. It seemed to me to be kind of about the blurring of line between reality and fiction, which I think is something important to talk about right now with the popularity of true crime horror. It seems to be very popular. I'm not a fan. I like my reality reel and my fiction. So in this movie, really it talks about that, and particularly with the internet and how that is just adding a layer to this true crime fandom scenario. And there's also a little bit about how, the internet can manipulate people's perceptions. It is kind of a new free for all media situation. So it had a lot of social commentary, whereas, the first Scream is more commentary about horror movies themselves. But even the movie talks about how commentary about horror movies is commentary about society. So makes sense to me. So all in all, I would say this is really fun. I would absolutely recommend it to fans of the franchise. Obviously, I love them even really only knowing the first movie. But if you've watched them all and you know everything, there's more to get, because they did make references to things or people that, excuse me, things and people that I was not familiar with because I am not familiar with the other movies. It was still a ton of fun, even not being familiar, but I imagine it's that much more fun if you are. If you're a fan of campy slashers, or if you would just enjoy like a little throwback to old-fashioned horror movies. There's nothing artsy going on here, and I love an artsy horror film, but it's fun to also just have kind of a popcorn, silly roller coaster of tension, and that is what this was. If you're into any of these, I would definitely recommend seeing it in a theater if you're able, because having, like-minded folks around reacting to, all of it with you is a ton of fun. So yeah, that was it. That's my popcorn breakfast for this week, Scream 6. I don't know what's on the menu for next week, so we'll just wait and see. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.